来到我们现场接受大家的采访，然后大家有没有谁要提第一个问题就请举手。So first question.
大家好，我是狗登别的，就是在我第一次就是中国人挑战 UFC 冠军，就是想问一下格里芬，你觉得这意味着什么？就是有什么意义？
It would be awesome if I just started answering in Mandarin. There's like everything to be.
So first question is for Griffin. And so this is the first time for the Chinese fighter to challenge the title. So what do you think about it?
I mean, obviously, I'm excited. You know, the UFC's invested heavily in China. It's an awesome market. I often think that the UFC right now in China feels like it did around 2006 in the US.
他当然就非常高兴会看到有这样的情况出现，因为他觉得，就是当然 UFC 在这个亚洲和包括在中国是投资了很多，然后来培养这边的这个市场和运动员。然后对于他来说，这个比赛的话，他觉得现在的中国市场就有点像06年的时候的美国一样，是在一个起步和快速上升的这样的一个过程。
He forgot what I said. He just started making stuff up. He has no idea.
Yeah, you know what I always said.
And you've had time in Shanghai at the Sports Institute, right? There's the development programs and stuff going on there right now. How's the talent that you've seen coming through?
You know.
No, you can go.
Oh wow. No, I mean, obviously that's kind of right now. That's my focus. That's my primary project. The UFC Performance Institute in Shanghai has about 22 developmental athletes right now, and it would be 24, except 2 of those athletes are already fighting on the card. So, which tells you that Peter and the Chinese team and myself did a good job in recruiting and running through the combine. We found a lot of the best fighters in China, up and comers. And so, I mean, I'm excited to see these kids develop, and it's more of a long-term program, right? Like, give us a year, give us 2 years. People want results immediately. It's been 2 months, but I guarantee you in 2 years, we will be pumping fighters out and putting them in the UFC ecosphere.
因为在这个来到深圳之前，格里芬也是花了一段时间，就是在上海的这个精英训练中心，然后那边的话也是有这个运动员在那边训练。然后刚才格里芬就说，确实，在这个从今年6月份开始，我们这边招募了这个现在就原本是40个选手，然后选到了最后的24位，然后进行这个长期的培训和训练。很高兴呢，会有2位选手，像这个吕正红还有这个黑利，他们最终是在这场比赛进入到了这个 UFC 的这个阵容当中。但是这剩下的22位的这个选手也是我们精挑细选的，然后他们也是非常有实力的这样的选手。当然大家都希望能够在短期内就看到这些选手，然后实力变强，然后飞黄腾达。但是对于他来说，我们这是一个长期的一个训练的计划。所以说，如果给到我们1年或者2年的时间，相信这些选手的这个实力会有一个突飞猛进的这样发展。
Forrest, sorry for disturbing. Of course, the main market the primary market for the PI Institute is obviously China. In the long term, do you see this project would expand throughout the Asian region, especially
region? Yeah, I mean, I think initially, why not concentrate on China right now? There's a ton of untapped and undevelopmental talent in the Chinese market right now. But eventually, like the Ultimate Fighters, you have to start. If you think about it, in the U.S. it was easy to find talent, but as you mine that talent, it's gonna, we'll find most of the good talent in China, and then you'll have other countries in the APAC region, and we'll start incorporating them later.
Yes, and another thing is, currently in Asia, there's so-called arms race with regards to talents. Other promotions are keeping an eye on prospects as well. How do you plan to be ahead of the race, obviously, with the situation?
simply being the best promotion, right? The UFC is going to be the best promotion. I think one thing I'd like to see is more fights in China, more big names fights in China, and then as the Song Yadongs and Song Canans and Weili Zhang, as they kind of develop and prosper, they'll develop their own fan bases, and there's two ways to have the tallest building, right? You can try to smash the other guy's building, or you can just work on building the tallest building you can have. And I'm much more the mindset of, we know what we need to do to develop fighters in this region. We'll simply do that, and then the talent will want to come to us.
就是两个问题啊。
Go for it.
第一个问题就是说，在就是这个训练的过程当中，然后会不会把这个 UFC 精英训练中心，然后这个选手培养的计划开展到就是世界上的其他的国家？然后格里芬说会，当然会。就是第一，中国的话是亚洲现在最大的一个市场，也是非常重要的一个市场。他觉得这边有很多就是有潜力的运动员，但是他们没有接受到这个高水平的训练，所以他们的水平一直是在比较这个初步的这个环节进行徘徊。所以说，经过在精英训练中心的这个训练和发展之后的话，这些运动员的实力会有一个突飞猛进的这个提升。然后就像之前这个Tough 在这个美国做的一样，就是从美国开始，然后才发散到像这个巴西啊或拉美啊这些地方。所以说就是要先有一个第一块的土壤去做这个事情。而这次的话就是放在了这个中国。然后第二个问题的话就是说，会不会觉得这个在那个在这个精英训练中心，就是说对于格里芬这边就对于 UFC 来说的话，就是其他的这个赛事也是在争夺这些优秀的运动员。那为什么这些运动员会去到 UFC 而不是去到其他的这个赛事组织？那这个回答就非常简单，因为 UFC 是最好的赛事，然后吸引力对于所有的这个运动员，我们能给到他们的这个训练的环境和条件都是最好的。但是对于这个他来说，他不希望就是 UFC 就是一家独大之后，然后其他的这些赛事和联盟就全部都没有了。他对于我们来说的话，就是如果以 UFC 的这个财力和物力能够把这个运动提高到一个新的高度的话，那对于其他的一些赛事也是有一个很好的促进作用。所以说，这对于整个市场是有一个很好的作用的。
Yes, this question's for Claudia. So I know you've fought Jessica Andrade, obviously, and just women's strawweight, the belt. That's kind of your field of expertise. What do you think about this matchup?
I feel like it's a great matchup. Jessica is one of the strongest women I ever fought or trained with in my entire life. And her opponent, talking about talent like you were, she has great talent. She got to the UFC and beat 3 great fighters. So I definitely think she deserves the opportunity to fight for the title. And even better, being in China, we want to expand the market here. And she's the one that definitely has the talent to fight for the title.
刚才格里芬的问题就是说问了这个克劳迪亚，然后就是说你觉得韦利和这个安德拉德的比赛是怎么样的？然后他说他之前和这个杰西卡安德拉德训练过，然后2个人也比赛过，他觉得安德拉德是他打过的这个力量最大的这个女选手。所以说这场比赛是会非常好看。他对于韦利的评价，也就是说，他觉得韦利就像刚才格里芬说的，在中国会有很多就是有潜力和实力的这些选手。而对于张伟丽的评价，他觉得张伟丽是非常有实力而且有潜力的。他觉得这场比赛在中国打的话是非常天时地利人和的一个方式。
Are you saying there's too many Brazilian champions? Is that what you're saying?
Sorry?
No.
Eu tenho perguntas just here behind to Brazil. Tenho pergunta para Gadelha and also to Forrest Griffin. Cláudia, nós temos o título de Jéssica, também 2 cinturões de Amanda. Eu queria que você avaliasse o momento das lutadoras do Brasil no MMA, no UFC. We have the title with Jessica and also with Amanda Nunes. How can you describe this moment about the women fighters, women Brazilian fighters, please?
Yeah, so if we go back, like a few years ago, maybe 5 years ago, we have a lot of UFC titles in Brazil. I feel like the sport evolved. The science is behind the sport now, and that's why we lost a lot of titles. I feel like in Brazil we don't have a lot of science to keep up with the game. That's why a lot of Brazilians move to America and use the PI and a lot of other ways to become better fighters. I feel like the women is newer in the game, and the same thing is happening. We have Amanda with the title, we have Jessica with the title, and they're doing the same thing. They're looking for better ways to become better fighters. And also Cyborg had the title for a long time, so I feel like it's the timing, and now with everybody using the science to grow and to become better, I think that's what is happening with the Brazilian champions now.
Can you answer in Portuguese, please? Also.
Eu acho que as brasileiras vêm passando por uma ótima posição no UFC, né, como aconteceu 5 anos atrás com os homens brasileiros, né? Por muito tempo a gente teve muitos homens brasileiros campeões, e acho que agora é a época das meninas. A gente vem trabalhando muito duro para fazer isso acontecer, e vem acontecendo agora.
Why don't you start speaking Portuguese? That's amazing.
It's so much easier.
刚才那个问题啊，就是说，像现在努涅斯，然后还有这个安德拉德，他们都是来自于巴西的这个女子的冠军。那你觉得这个运动在巴西的话，是不是有更好的一个发展？然后他就说，如果你回顾到5年前的话，你会看到有非常多的这个巴西选手，男选手也是拿到了这个 UFC 的这个冠军。但是随着这个比赛和这个运动的发展，你会看到会有越来越多的这个体育运动的科学的这个训练的方式，然后进入到这项运动当中。而对于巴西选手来说的话，他们缺的就是这种科学的训练和运动科学的支持，所以说他们在最近的这几年里边是丢掉了很多这个冠军的腰带。而对于女选手来说，像现在努涅斯还有这个安德拉德，他们所处的这个女子的这个级别都是非常新的，所以说也是会像5年前的这个男子级别一样，就是慢慢的会越来越多的这个选手为了达到自己更好的这个训练的状态，然后运用到更多的这个科学进去。这也是为什么他会到这个 UFC PI 然后来进行训练。但是他相信，像这个努涅斯也好，还是这个安德拉德也好，他们也会用自己的方式去提高，然后来保住他们的腰带。
Griffin, please. How is for you that had a long career in MMA and also in UFC, seeing the company growing up and just arriving in all whole countries and all whole continents also? It's special for you. We are just here for the first time in China. How is it special for you?
Well, honestly, I think it's about time. I found the sport of fighting in 2001, and I thought it was weird that the rest of the world did not think it was awesome. See, Brazil was ahead of the times. And I was like, literally the best thing I've ever done in my life is realize that fighting is cool before everybody else did. And that's basically what I'm still living off of. But so I'm surprised. I'm surprised it's not more popular here. I think after this fight, it will be more popular. So I'm always surprised that it's as long of a process as it is. I think if you just show people a good UFC event, people will be like, dang, that's really cool. That's the epitome of human competition. That's what I want to do. Or that's all right, that'd be pretty cool if my son or daughter did that.
刚才这个问题就是说，就是 UFC 是去到了各个州，然后进行这个比赛。 那把这个运动传播到各个这个国家、各个不同的大陆和大洲。那对于格里芬来说的话，他觉得这个比赛，觉得这项运动的话，到底这次是来到了中国，然后有场冠军赛，觉得在这边发展的怎么样？然后格里芬就说，他觉得 MMA 这项运动或者说格斗这项运动的话是非常让人这个有激情的，所以说，他觉得这是世界上最酷的这个运动，这也就是为什么他从2001年开始，然后就开始从事综合格斗这项运动，让他感到非常。甚至有些震惊和奇怪的，就是为什么这个运动，没有，就花了这么长的时间，然后才变得这样的流行，然后，现在是来到了中国，他也希望有了这场比赛之后，有了这个中国女选手，然后去挑战这个冠军腰带之后，就会发展到一个就是让中国的粉丝去了解到，或者让中国不关注 MMA 的这些运动的这些人去了解到，这是非常酷的一项运动。让他们看到这个运动有非常好的这个发展的潜力，然后希望他们会让自己的孩子，然后去练到这项运动当中。
Griffin, my last one. Let's back to the best. 10 years ago, you against Anderson Silva. Especially for us.
Let's celebrate that anniversary.
It's been 10 years.
That's not long enough.
Especially for us, Brazilian, you know how it's special.
That was like the peak Anderson Silva right there, yeah.
It was my first UFC fight.
There you go.
My first time watching the UFC live. Wow.
Wow. How many times did you answer about that fight?
This will be 1 million. No, a lot. That to me, that's one of the great things about the UFC. The best people in the world are still in the highlight reels. The wrong way of the highlight, the wrong side of the highlight. Like you look at Rashad Evans, he'll always be in Nishida's highlight reel. So it's funny. I will be in that highlight reel with Anderson as long as I live. I've got some good highlights too, though, somewhere in there. That's another cool thing about the sport. You look at like Hall of Fame guys that have 7, 8, 10 losses. A guy like Randy Couture, he was only like 16-7. So that's one of the. Even now, you look at Anderson still going, which is amazing. That's at 43 to compete. I don't think you realize. Like I'm 42, and to do that physically is at that level is pretty amazing. So that's a win in and of itself.
刚才这个问题的话，就是说实际上今天是一个10周年，就是当年他跟安德森·席尔瓦的那个跨级别的之战，结果大家也知道结果是什么样的。然后至今这个画面的话都是被放到很多这个精彩集锦当中。然后问他是怎么想的他说确实对于这个巴西人来说是非常值得欢呼雀跃和纪念的一天。然后刚才那个克劳迪亚也说这是他看的第一场的 UFC 的比赛。所以说，但是格里芬说这个没有关系，因为对于他现在已经是一个名人堂的成员了。然后当然他也有很多精彩的集锦希望大家也去看一下。对于他来说，当时他遇到的这个安德森·席尔瓦是巅峰的这个安德森·席尔瓦，当时没人能够击败他，然后打得非常的好。然后对于他来说，实际上很多的名人堂的运动员，他们输掉的比赛也会进入到别人的集锦当中，就像那个密唐、埃文斯等等这样的情况。他觉得这个没有什么，他反倒是觉得像安德森·席尔瓦现在已经43岁了，他还能够在 UFC 继续的比赛，是一个非常让人不可思议的事情。因为他现在42岁，安德森·席尔瓦是43岁。他看到安德森·席尔瓦依旧是能够保持这么大的一个训练量去和世界顶尖的这个运动员进行比赛，是非常非常了不起的。最后一个问题。
Hello. First question is for Griffin. Since you're working in China for a long time, have you any plan studying Chinese and how it's going?
I've got Peter. I don't need it.
Okay.
I can get the check. My don.
Yeah. Okay, that's good.
Nope, nothing. You put me on the spot again.
Just remember the washroom.
Oh, Shenzhen.
Yeah.
Shenzhen.
Great. And a question for both of you, since both of you were the coach for the Ultimate Fighter. And I want to know what is the most important personality or quality for being a coach in a reality show on TV. What is the most important thing?
People don't realize, coaching the Ultimate Fighter is like a full-time job. You have to be there 2 times a day, but it's long. And a coach like me, I worry about the fighters like family, I wanted to see how they were doing. I wanted to be part of the weight cuts and everything. So
you come in, you pick the fights. People don't realize, but you have to come back. You have to stay and pick the fights, and then
Yeah. People they just watch the fights and a little bit of what happened behind the scenes, But it's a lot. Coaching the Ultimate Fighter, it's a lot of work.
So for me, I'm actually so glad I got to do it. I got to do it actually relatively early in my career, and I wasn't much of a coach. I didn't really want to be a coach. I was a training partner, and that was the first time I really started coaching and cornering. And a lot of guys I coached from the Ultimate Fighter ended up coming out to Vegas and training with me and doing camps with me and even staying at my house. And I made some lifelong friends out of that show. And not only that, I actually really learned how to coach and corner and kind of get things done in a very small amount of time. Because what you don't realize is you've only got 6 weeks on that show, which is not a lot of time to try to make improvements and fix holes and get people healthy. It's a very intense 6 weeks.
就回答刚才第二个问题啊，第一个问题就不说了。第二个问题就是说，包括这个克劳迪亚还有格里芬在内，他们2个人的话都是参加过这个终极斗士，他们作为教练参加过，那这个感受是什么样的？然后这个克劳迪亚他的回答就是说，作为这个终极斗士这个教练之一的话，是一个非常辛苦的一个工作，这就像一个全职的工作一样，因为他每天需要去到这个训练场地2次。然后跟着运动员带他们训练，然后还要制定这个比赛的对阵，那下一个谁打谁，然后另外的话还要帮助他们进行这个备战，然后减重，然后到时候还要作为他们的这个边角来帮助他就是去赢得这个比赛。所以对他来说的话，这是一个非常辛苦的工作，但是他就像这些这个选手的这个家人一样，他为他们操心。还有很多的这个事情发生在这个幕后，所以说可能不会在这个真人秀当中会这个显示出来，但是他们也是花了很大的精力和时间去完成对这些运动员负责的这个工作。然后格里芬这边的回答就是说，你知道他是第一个终极斗士嘛？然后他实际上一直在作为这个终极斗士的这个教练之前，他一直没有特别在乎这个执教这个事情，因为他以前作为很多人的这个训练的伙伴，但是他并没有真正的去做过某个人的这个教练，然后去帮他们制定战术，去带他们训练。那一次是他第一次去做这方面的工作，所以他觉得这个的话是让他感觉到了一个非常不一样的这个地方，因为对于他来说。当时的这个比赛，当时的这个时间，他需要去在6周的时间完成这么多选手的这个训练、比赛还有配对，对于他来说这是一个非常困难的这个工作。然后也是他在这个终极斗士当中，然后认识了很多这个选手。后来在这个终极斗士结束之后，然后又重新回到他在拉斯维加斯的这个拳馆，然后和他一起训练，有些甚至住在他的家里，他和他们成为了这个可能终身的一个挚友，所以说这对于他来说是一个非常非常好的一个经历。
不好。
So, is there any plan or possible for another season of the Ultimate Fighter China?
I mean, it's possible. I don't know of any plans to do it at the moment. I think right now, the Performance Institute kind of fills that void, and we have. I like the academy model, the UFC Shanghai Performance Institute model, because we don't have to do weird things to be on camera. We don't, we can really just concentrate on developing the fighters.
他说，当然有可能就是会有这个终极斗士中国的下一季，但是，他现在在这个精英训练中心，这22位这个运动员进行训练的话，还是以这个训练为主，因为， 真人秀的话，你就会里边会发生一些就是各种各样的这个好玩的事情，然后让自己更加的出名，更加的出挑。但是对于现在在精英训练中心训练的这些选手来说，他们需要做的就是好好的训练，然后后面好好的比赛。Last question， 最后一个问题。
Question for Claudia. Again, 2 years ago in Japan, you fought Jessica there, and now since then you guys have different paths, and now she's have the title. Now you're watching. You're a guest fighter here, and you're expecting to make a return to the cage in a few months. How has this been? That moment be a motivation for you that you know that you can do the same sometime in the future, or maybe even challenge her for the title?
So right now I am going through a lot of changes in my life, you know. I trained in the same academy for 10 years, and I left and I didn't know what to do. I started like letting a lot of people into my life. I didn't know who I should train with, you know, so I left Brazil and I went to the PI. You know, I hang out with these guys every day. I get the advice from them, you know, and I'm learning. I feel like I'm growing, and I'm trying to, you know, kind of watch what I'm doing and learn from my mistakes that I did in the past, you know, and of course become a better athlete every day, you know. But in the last 3 years after I left Novo União, I was lost. I didn't know what to do. I feel like I did a lot of mistakes, and that cost me losing fights. So now I'm concentrating in becoming better, in having people in my life that really worries about me and take care of me, so I can step in the octagon and feel safe, feel like I did enough and I did what I needed to do to get in there and beat people like I used to.
这个问题就是给到那个克劳迪亚这边，然后他说，这个问题就是说，在之前你跟那个安德拉德在日本打过一场比赛，然后现在看到安德拉德这个夺冠，然后又是在这边进行一个卫冕战，而你是作为这个嘉宾选手来到我们这个现场，是不是安德拉德的这一路的挺进会对你带来一个动力？然后他说，确实，在过去的3年的这个时间里边的话，我经历了很多。我从原本和我培养了我10年的这个训练团队当中离开，然后在过去的3年当中，他是比较的颠沛流离，在各个这个拳馆当中进行的这个训练，也是遇到了很多各种各样不同的人。但是有些人可能并不是真正的在关心他，直到他现在是在拉斯维加斯进行这个训练和备战，在 UFC 的 PI， 然后和在拉斯维加斯的这个团队，然后每天和格里芬他们这个朝夕相处。他觉得这是他真正应该去的一个地方，他觉得那些人是真正关心他的，所以他在可以进行一个更好的备战，他的这个比赛的打法和风格，他的状态才会像他过去一样，能够和过去一样去进行比赛的话，他觉得他可以赢得更多的这个胜利。
No, do you know the Vegas odds on the Andrade Weili main event?
Yeah.
The odds? What are the odds?
I can't remember very clearly, but so what?
I mean, Weili's an underdog, right?
Yeah.
Do you guys think she can win? I'm interested to see what you guys think. Ask them.
他就说，就是在那个赔率上，大家应该看到，就是韦利是这个比较不占优势的这一方嘛。但大家的想法是什么样的？可以踊跃发言。
They're not very confident that she can win. I'm not blown away.
大家好像对张伟丽没有什么信心啊，所以。
You have faith. All right, there we go. All right. I mean, if you think about it, the template to beat her is out there. I think it's the template to beat Andrade is the Owen and Jacek fight. Touch and run, great footwork. Weili does have great footwork. We've seen that. I don't know if you follow her Instagram, but she's always doing like crazy, ridiculous foot drills. So she's very fast. I mean, it's really a question to me. Can she touch her, hit her, do damage for 25 minutes without getting put up against the fence and letting Andrade either unload on her or slam her. I don't think either woman will get tired in 25 minutes.
他对于比赛的这个预测呢，就是他觉得如果韦利要去打这场比赛的话，可以参照之前这个乔安娜跟这个安德拉德的比赛。当时安德拉德就被乔安娜一直在距离上控制，然后没有办法去真正的发挥他这个力量和抱摔方面的优势。而韦利这边呢，大家也可以看到，从他之前的这个训练视频当中，就是可以看出来他的这个步伐是很快的，他有很多的这个训练都是训练这个步伐。但是有没有可能在25分钟，就是5回合的这个比赛当中，持续的可以控制住，而不被这个安德拉德找到那个角度去顶到笼边或者举起来去摔等等这些情况的话，这个是在比赛当中他非常期待能够看到的。当然，他觉得对于安德拉德来说对于这张韦利来说。